Did you know you can pilot a mech across an alien planet that's 4 times the size of Skyrim? Been keeping track of every major Switch release for 2025, and trust me, the scale of these games is mind-boggling. Drop a sub if you love diving deep into Nintendo games. Let's check these out. The Professor Layton series started back in 2007, and New World of Steam marks its first major release since 2017. The games have always mixed mystery novels with puzzle gameplay. You advance by solving brain teasers and logic puzzles tied to the story. This new entry trades the European setting for steampunk America, which brings fresh ideas to the puzzle design. The core loop stays familiar: investigate scenes, talk to characters, and solve increasingly complex puzzles. I'm particularly interested in how they're using steam-powered machinery to create new types of mechanical challenges while keeping what made the originals special. Little Nightmares has built its reputation on survival horror from a child's perspective, making everyday environments feel twisted and monstrous. This third entry breaks new ground by adding cooperative play. You and a friend control Low and Alone, working together to survive. The series is known for telling stories through the environment, rather than dialogue, letting you piece together what's happening by exploring. What interests me about the co-op approach is how it changes the atmosphere. Previous games used isolation to create fear, but now there's tension in having to rely on another person.
As you can see, the ancient metropolis is now more of a ghost town, and it is unclear what happened to its inhabitants.
Sonic Racing CrossWorlds continues the racing spin-off series that began with Sonic R in 1997. The game takes players through courses inspired by different eras of Sonic games, from the original Genesis titles to modern releases. Traditional kart racing mechanics blend with Sonic-style elements like boost pads, rings, and alternate paths. What makes this interesting is how they've adapted classic platforming levels into racing tracks while keeping their distinct feelings. Each course has multiple routes that reward exploration, much like the mainline Sonic games. Dragon Quest I and II HD Remake revisits the games that shaped JRPG conventions in 1986 and 1987. These aren't simple ports. They've rebuilt both games while preserving their fundamental design. The original Dragon Quest established mechanics we now take for granted: leveling up, turn-based battles, and random encounters. This remake adds features like dungeon mapping and faster combat to help new players experience these historically important games. I appreciate how they've updated the visuals while keeping the distinctive Akira Toriyama art style intact.
And formidable monsters await. An iconic RPG remade in HD 2D.
Fantasy Life 1 combines life simulation with action RPG elements, building on what worked in the 2012 3DS original. You can still freely switch between jobs like blacksmith, warrior, or miner, but now there's time travel involved. Your actions in the past affect how the world develops. For example, focusing on certain crafts early on shapes what resources and buildings exist later. The combat system feels more refined than the original, with each job having unique abilities and playstyles. I'm interested in seeing how the time travel mechanics add consequences to the laid-back life sim gameplay.
And more. Take on different roles to develop the island. How will you rebuild? This life is yours to live.
Hey, quick pause here. If you're enjoying this look at some of Switch's finest games, hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Let me know in the comments which of these games you've played or are excited to try. Now, let's continue with our lineup. Inazuma 11 has carved out a unique niche since 2008 by turning soccer into an RPG. Victory Road continues this approach. Matches play out through a mix of real-time action and tactical commands, like a sports-themed battle system. You manage a team where players have special moves that bend the laws of physics, creating tornadoes or summoning dragons during matches. The story follows an underdog team's journey, but with the series' signature over-the-top style. The RPG elements let you develop players' stats and abilities, adding depth to the soccer mechanics. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD updates the 2010 Wii game that successfully revived the series after a long break. The original balanced challenging platforming with creative level design, constantly introducing new mechanics and combining them in clever ways. You run, roll, and jump through stages collecting items and avoiding obstacles, but each level has unique elements that keep things fresh. This HD version maintains that excellent design while improving the visuals and controls. The minecart and rocket barrel sections remain just as intense, but now they're more readable. The co-op mode feels smoother.
Totally ruined ruins. And even a factory. A variety of worlds await. DK can bounce off enemies to get more height.
Pokémon Legends ZA applies the open-world format of Legends Arceus to Kalos' history, showing how Lumio's city evolved from a medieval settlement. The game focuses on discovering Mega Evolution, a battle mechanic that temporarily transforms certain Pokémon. Like Arceus, catching involves actively sneaking up on Pokémon in real time rather than random encounters. The setting lets you see familiar locations in a new light, with architecture and culture changing as the city develops. Xenoblade Chronicles X originally launched on Wii U in 2015, standing out from other Xenoblade games with its sci-fi setting. The story follows Earth refugees exploring Mira, an alien planet, using customizable mechs called Skells. The combat blends MMO-style abilities with real-time action, while the open world encourages exploration. This Switch version enhances the graphics and interface of the ambitious original. The game's scale is impressive. You start on foot, but eventually take to the skies in your Skell. The protagonist is customizable, and your choices affect how other characters interact with you.
Our native home was gone, swallowed in a shroud of light. And our future was uncertain. We had no idea what fate lay in store for us. Only that we had to keep living.
Metroid Prime 4 continues the first-person exploration focus that defined the series since 2002. The Prime games are known for their scanning mechanics, where you learn about the world by analyzing environments and creatures. This new entry keeps that foundation while expanding Samus's movement and combat options. The level design follows Metroid's signature structure. You gradually gain abilities that open up new paths in previously visited areas. The emphasis on archaeological discovery remains strong, with detailed environments telling stories through visual clues. The scan visor returns with new features for puzzle solving. Hey, let me know what you think about these games. Maybe you've played some and have a different take, or maybe something here caught your eye. Drop a comment. Let's chat about it. See you in the next one.